Hello. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on? 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 What's cracking? What's cracking, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome on into the live stream. What's up, Raiders? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully everyone is having a luxurious Thursday. It doesn't even feel like Thursday if we're keeping it $1.50. Kind of feels like I wouldn't say it feels like a Friday or something. It just feels like a Tuesday, which is a little weird, but hey, it's Thursday, baby. What's up, everyone? Let's have a luxurious live stream today. Gonna have a fun time talking about all of your guys' questions, answering them. I appreciate all you guys stopping by the stream. If you would, so please make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. We got 10 likes. There's 40 people here. We should have 40 likes. It's a no-brainer. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Did you hit the like button? Question mark? Yes or no? Yeah, yes, no, maybe so. All right, so welcome into the stream, everyone. Again, I really do appreciate you guys. I posted the wide receiver rankings video a day early. I was like, you know what? I was feeling a little frisky. Let's upload it a day earlier. Now, technically, I like the idea of uploading a day earlier. It is doing really bad right now. So after this video, while you're watching the game, just put that on. You don't even have to watch it. Just put it on. Let it sit there. And that'll help me out. So I appreciate you guys. Much love. Welcome into the stream. Gus Edwards or Tai Chandler? I'd go Gus Bus. I think a lot of people are kind of quitting on Gus Edwards. Now, again, I don't necessarily think that Gus Edwards is like some like lock that you need to have in your lineup, but I'm playing him. I'm playing him. Sup, you filthy animals. Yo, yo. What's going on? Lamar or Stoud? I'd go Stoud. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, Ruben? Is Spock already in here? I haven't seen Spock say anything. You calling for him? I don't think Spock's here today. I think Spock said he was gone until what is it? I think he comes back after Thanksgiving. So we're to be without Spock for a couple of days. Yeah, shout out to Captain Spock. He'll be back soon. I believe he went on vacation or something, taking a nice couple of days off. You know, Spock doesn't get paid anything to be here, so he doesn't have to be here. You know, yeah, he's gonna miss the week. So I think he's gone this week. He's either back next week before Thanksgiving, or he comes back. Maybe he'll be back next Sunday. So yeah, it's just us straight chilling this week. OBJ tonight or Dotson? Dotson for sure. Puka or Lockett? Puka, how's life going? Are you doing okay? I'm doing great, man. Thank you very much. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good week this week. Hope everyone in chat is having a good week as well. And let's have a great weekend, obviously. Thursday is always like kind of the start of the weekend, if you think about it. Now, it's not technically the start of the weekend, but the fact that there is football on tonight, it starts to feel more like the weekend. In the middle of a pending trade. Well, I hope it goes well for you. What's up, Brando? How you doing, man? Start Russell Wilson or Justin Fields in PPR. I'd go Russ. Also, who do I run in my flex? Javante, Collins, or Amari? I'd go Collins. Yo, do I start Joe tonight or Goff? I'd go Goff. What's up, Nick? What's up, Trans? How you doing, man? What's up, Steven? Hey, Bun. How you doing? What's up, Killa? Gus for Pittman. Yeah, I'd rather have Pittman. Lamar or Tua? Tua. Tai Chandler or Keaton Mitchell? I'd go Chandler. Best show ever. It's helped me. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for stopping by the stream. Good afternoon, Jonathan. I try to help you guys all out as much as possible. Again, obviously, there's a lot of you guys. We might hit over 125 people in the stream. I'm not saying that's guaranteed to happen, but there's going to be a decent amount of people here. I try to get to as many questions as possible. If I don't get to your question, just know that it's not that I dislike you or something. I like all you guys. I appreciate you all. You guys are the reason why I'm able to come on camera and talk about football all the time. So I really do appreciate all you guys. I love you guys so much. Caleb, what's up? That's a fire picture you got right there. Which side are you taking in a 10-team half PPR? Kelsey, Rashad White, JSN, or Swift, Kupp, and Kittle? I think I'm taking side B. Green Knight, I just want to ask for your opinion. 10-man PPR, which order do these wide receivers go in? You've got Waddle, Dell, Ridley, Flowers, Johnson, Addison. I would go... Yeah, I drank some fucking soda, so I might have to burp a couple of times, so I mute my mic. I apologize. Just what happens. I was starting to feel sleepy. Sleepy Joe. I was getting a little tired, so just went ahead, drank some soda. Wake the boy up. All right, so we're going Waddle. Then we're going Dell. Then we're going Deonta. Oh, that's a lie. We're going Waddle, Deonta, Addison, Flowers, Ridley. That's your order there. Waddle, Deonta, Dell, Addison, Flowers, Ridley. Number one prostitute in all of Kazakhstan. Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Pick 3, Aaron Jones, Javante, A-Chain, Connor. This is a loaded question right here. So A-Chain to me is a lock. A-Chain is going to play. That was the most recent report that I read, and I'm very excited for that as a Dolphins fan and for fantasy football. I think all of you guys should be very, 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 very excited about that. So we're going to go A-Chain for show. Then we're going to go Aaron Jones. And then between Javante and Connor is kind of a toss-up, to be completely honest with you. Let's go. Let's go A-Chain, Aaron Jones, and Javante. I think Javante and Connor are kind of in the same range, but Javante is probably going to get 20-plus carries. Has a decent matchup against the Vikings, so I'm going to go with Javante. Again, they're pretty close. A-Chain's a lock. Aaron Jones, I think, is going to see more touches than he did last week, and then I think Javante Williams is just kind of on a tear, so I'm going to rank Javante over Connor. So your first 3 would be your answer. Thank you for the super chat. I have A-Chain, Montgomery, and Mostert. Which 2 do I start? Start A-Chain and Montgomery. Hey, Damar Hamlin. Lamar, Dak, or Goff? I'd go Dak. What kind of fantasy guru has toilet paper for a backdrop? Come on, Nick's picks are excellent. Enjoy the comedy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do want to get a better backdrop, but the problem with how my room is laid out is obviously it's like hard to see because it's dark in my room, but behind me is a couch. Over there is my bed, and right here behind the monitor there's a TV above, and then there's another TV over there. So there's really no room for me to go like right up against a wall. Whenever I move eventually, I will try to make sure I get like a nice little space to where I can hang a bunch of shit up right behind me, because behind me is Merino. I got a Dolphins thing my fiance painted me, a football with my logo on it, but in another world, it's easier. If you notice, every other person that does content, they're not like, they don't have a whole fucking room behind them most of the time. So that is something I've been looking to get a little bit better at. Jeffrey, but again, there's nothing I can do about the fucking room I'm in right now. Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat. Hey, man, pick one for the flex. Sutton, Dotson, or Dobbs. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. So for me, I would go with Courtland Sutton. Now, I believe I said it in today's video. Don't quote me, because this might be wrong. Well, don't quote me, because I'm going to say 2 numbers. I believe he has scored in 7 out of 9 games. And if it's not 7 out of 9, it is 6 out of 9. This guy is a touchdown printer. This week, he's got a solid matchup against the Vikings. Now, Sutton has been a guy that hasn't really blown up in terms of the yards category, right? He's not going out there dropping 90, 100 yards on your head top, catching 10 balls, right? Like maybe like A.J. Brown or something could do, right? But he's very clearly the wide receiver 1 on the team. Russell Wilson looks a whole lot better this year compared to last year. I mean, I talked about it in one of the videos as well. But that like shovel pass to Samaje Perine that he did, and how he was maneuvering the pocket against the Bills, is something we haven't seen out of Russell Wilson in a long time, since he was in Seattle. So I feel a lot more confident in Russ. Dotson and Sutton are kind of close. Dobbs is just out of the equation for me. I just don't really want anything to do with the Packers receiver core. So I'm just going to go Sutton. Dotson kind of shit the bed. I could see Dotson shit in the bed again. I don't think Sutton will be that bad. So I think I'm going to go with Sutton. Probably the safest play, and him and Dotson have very similar upside. So I'm going to go with Sutton. Thank you for the super chat. Javante or DK rest of the season? I would rather have DK. Calvin Ridley or Nico Collins? What do you think? I mean, realistically, DK, when I say that, DK is a way safer bet than Javante rest of the season. Calvin Ridley or Nico Collins? I'm definitely going Nico Collins. Look, you guys know I am probably, anyone who was here in the summer knows I am a Calvin Ridley stan, and Calvin Ridley showed up week 1, but ever since then, he hasn't done jack shit. And frankly, I at some point, I just have to be like, you know what, maybe Nick was wrong, so we're going Nico Collins. But I also like Nico Collins, so I was right about that. Fields or Goff? Brees or Walker? Brees this week, yeah. Flex, Aaron Jones, Hollywood or Keaton Mitchell? I'd go Aaron Jones. Lamar or Murray? I'd go with... Look, if you want the safer bet, Donnie, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, go Murray. If you want the higher upside, go Lamar. I'd probably go Murray, though. Playing Kincaid as a tight end. Who should I flex? McBride, Hall, or Dale? Hall. Lamar or Purdy? Purdy. Play Keaton Mitchell or wait for a trade to go through. And yeah. Wait for your trade to go through and get. Assuming the trade's already been accepted, just wait to play what? Dylan, thank you for the super chat, my man. I really appreciate you. Thank you, RJ, for the super chat as well. I'll get to you in a second. Dylan says, Mahomes or Dak this week? Keep it up, brother. Thank you very much. So this is a very tough question. Now, 6 weeks ago, Dak was at the bottom of the barrel. Dak was literally playing like dog shit, and everyone was making fun of him. Rightfully so. Then, this week, or the last 3 weeks, Dak has been on top of the world. He's been soaring, flying, and there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. Like that song in, what's that movie called? The song with Troy Bolton. High School Musical, right? And Mahomes was playing good back then, but Mahomes has been kind of in a skid. Now, realistically, I think these are 2 top 4, top 5 options at the very least this week. And if I'm being honest with you, regardless of who I say, it will probably be wrong because one of the guys will be like the quarterback 2, the other guy will be like the quarterback 4, right? So it's going to be close regardless. I'm going to go with Mahomes, though. I think Mahomes gets out the slump against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that he's going to be slinging it big time against the Eagles. Now, I think this might end up being a Pollard game. Like, I don't think Dak's going to throw 4 touchdowns in this game. Now, maybe he does, and I just look like a fool. But I really would just go with Mahomes. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the week, back and forth affair between the Chiefs and the Bengals. So at the end of the day here, we're Chiefs and the Bengals, the Chiefs and the Eagles. So we're going to go with Mahomes. It's close, but we're going Mahomes. RJ, thank you for the super chat. Sit 1. Devonta Smith, Montee, A-Chain, Kirk, and Kenneth Walker III. That's a great question. Now, when it comes to Montee and A-Chain, to me, Montee and A-Chain are basically both must-starts, right? Montee came back, looked really good, and I even heard that Montee subbed himself out to let Gibbs get the other touchdown. So Montee could have reasonably had 2 touchdowns. Big game. He's a great player. This Lions offense is a fucking wagon. They're great at running the ball. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, schemes the run game up amazing. The offensive line's amazing. You can't sit him. A-Chain could drop 30 points on the Broncos. You got to play A-Chain. And then Kenneth Walker III has been losing some snaps to Charbonnet, but Walker's still been the guy getting all the touches. So we're going with Kenneth Walker. So then we have to sit 1. It's either Devonta Smith or Christian Kirk. I'm going to go with the higher upside play. A little bit more risky. We're going to go with Devonta Smith, assuming that this is going to be a higher scoring game between the Chiefs and the Eagles. So to sit 1, we are going to sit down Mr. Christian Kirk. Gavin, thank you for the super chat as well. That fucking sneeze was coming for a while. Pause. All right, Gavin. Yeah, Gavin, make sure you leave your question in chat, and he did. Gavin's question was, pick 2. Javante, Puka. I got to sneeze again. I'm sorry. What the hell? Pick 2. Javante, Puka, Nico, D-Hop, Gabe Davis. So I'm taking Gabe Davis out of the equation. Against the Jets, you just don't want to chance that with a Bills offense that's just been diabolically bad. So we're taking Gabe out of that equation. So it's pick 2 out of Puka, Nico, D-Hop, Javante. I think you've got to play Nico Collins. We might not end up seeing Noah Brown play in this game. So we're going to go Nico Collins, and then we are going to go with Javante Williams. I think Javante Williams is the perfect balance of safety and upside. And then I think that Nico, same thing, safest receiver out of those with the highest upside. So we're going to go Javante, and we are going to go with Nico, cousin, let's go bowling. Thank you for the super chat again. Oh, you put your question in again. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. So again, the reason why we don't like Gabe Davis is because of the matchup against the Bills and because he's so boomer bust. You don't want to chance that against a tougher Jets defense. Nico Collins, to me, is just kind of a must-start at this point. The offense has been humming. CJ Stroud's look great, and Nico Collins is the number 1 receiver on that team. Puka is a solid start this week. I'm kind of just blindly playing him. I think that his floor is very low. He might be the wide receiver 60. I could also see him being a top 10 receiver. D-Hop is kind of the same thing. He's kind of at the mercy of Levis. Levis hasn't looked great the last 2 games. So I just lean with Javante. Javante's gotten, I think, 25 or more carries. It's at least 20 or more carries in back-to-back weeks. Looked really good last game out up against the Bills. So I'm going to go Javante and Nico, cousin. Let's go bowling. Collins. Taylor Ang, thank you for the super chat as per usual. I really appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys in chat again. Just so you guys are very aware, you don't have to super chat to get your question answered. You're going to get your question answered if you super chat, but I do read the normal questions as well. When I'm done with the super chats, we just got a couple in a row. Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Pick one. Kirk, Mostert, Rashad White, Flowers. So Flowers is just out of the equation. Flowers tonight is an okay matchup against the Bengals, but frankly, I don't really want to play Flowers. I just don't. I think the Bengals defense is going to play a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Xing Flowers out. So then it's Rashad White, Mostert, or Kirk. Rashad White goes up against the 49ers. Again, is he a bad start? No. Is he a great start? Also no. If you're stuck in a predicament and you need to play him, then there's worse options than him. But he's not a guy that I'm going to be screaming to the mountaintops for you guys to go ahead and play. So I'm going to go with Raheem Mostert. I've been talking about this all week, but I do really believe that Raheem Mostert is going to be fully unlocked with Devin A-Chain there. I think the Dolphins want to use a 1-2 punch system, meaning like the Thunder and the Lightning, like people say, right? And in my opinion, the Thunder is going to be Mr. Mostert, and the Lightning is A-Chain, and I think we are going to see A-Chain and kind of unlock Mostert and have Mostert scoring more points, have Mostert be more reliable because the team wants to run the ball. The Dolphins want to run the ball, but the problem is without A-Chain, they have to rely on Salvon Ahmed, and Salvon Ahmed, simple as day, was not cutting it. Salvon Ahmed was not cutting it at all, and it was severely hurting the Dolphins offense. So I think with A-Chain and Mostert together, I think that's going to unlock Mostert to have his best game of the season. We're going with Raheem, the wet dream Mostert. I like Christian Kirk as well, but we're going with Raheem, the dream Mostert. Guys, see how the Bills offense changed with a new play caller before starting any Bills with confidence outside of Diggs and Allen. I fully agree with that. Besides Kincaid, I think at this point, Chuckleberry, you might feel different than me. I have blind trust in Kincaid. He has looked so good. Allen has been feeding him the ball. Now, again, if you're a little bit nervous, I get it. I get why you might be nervous, but I'm still playing Kincaid. I don't really think the new offensive coordinator is going to change too much if I'm keeping it a buck with you. I really don't. Dylan says, got two more for your brother. Thank you for the super chat. 12-team PPR. Who you put in the flex between Connor, McBride, and JSN? Also, should I keep rocking with the Ravens defense or stream the Giants? Thanks again, brother. Keep it up. Thank you very much. So the Giants matchup is fine this week, but I'm going to be honest with you. Do you really want to play the Giants defense? Because what happens if the Commanders get up in the game and then the Giants defense just stops caring, right? When it's the third quarter, you're down, say, 21-0. Tommy DeVito, the Italian stallion, can't move the ball. At some point, the defenses give up. Now, obviously, they're still trying hard, but they're not going to put their body on the line to make some crazy fucking tackle or something like that if the game is out of hand. I've seen it in years past with the Dolphins, right? Early on into his career, when the Dolphins offense wasn't as great, the defense would keep them in the game for a while. Then it's like it's 3-21 in the fourth quarter, and they just fucking tap. They call uncle. And I think that's what might end up happening with the Giants, if I'm being honest with you. So I'd stream the Ravens. I think they'll pick off Mr. Shiesty tonight, even though I got the Bengals winning. I hope the Bengals win. That would help out my Dolphins. So that's what I'm leaning with. I got if anyone bets, if you're not talking player props, I am betting Bengals plus 3.5 tonight. All right, so we're rocking with the Ravens, and then we're going to go with James Conner. Now, for me, JSN isn't even in the equation. I don't hate JSN's matchup, but JSN just doesn't feel like a guy that's going to drop his nuts and score 25 points, whereas I think McBride as well as Conner could do that. If you want the safest bet, Dylan, I would say the safest bet here is McBride. I think McBride's destined to get at least 10 points, whereas Conner, I think, might get you 6 points, but he could also get you 25. So, in my opinion, I would probably go with James Conner. I think James Conner looked good last week. I think James Conner looks like the type of a guy that possesses top 10, top 5 upside in any given week. He looks very healthy. He didn't look like he came back like a couple of weeks early or something. He looked very healthy. So I'd go with James Conner. But if you want the safer bet, go with McBride. So we're going James Conner would be my answer. If you want to be a little safe, go McBride. And then we're definitely going with the Ravens over the G-Men. How do you feel about Andrews tonight? I'm going to be honest with you. Andrews is one of those guys, and I talked about it, I think, in the tight end start sit video. If I didn't talk about it, I was fucking talking to myself in my head because I think that Mark Andrews is kind of in a situation where he's in purgatory almost, right? Where he's not up in fantasy heaven, right? Balling out every single week, top 3 guy locked and loaded, top 5 guy locked and loaded. I know the tight end position is very fragile, but he doesn't really feel like that top 5 locked and loaded option. But I also wouldn't say that he's down in the deep depths of hell where you're like trying to be like, oh, fuck, I got to start K. Dotton or I got to start Gerald Everett or something, which really just feels disgusting. So he's kind of in the middle in that purgatory range. So with Andrews, I like Mark Andrews. I'm going to blindly play him, blindly believe in him. But what I will tell you is when a team is running the rock, how the Ravens are in the red zone, it's going to cuck Andrews out of certain situations. Now, again, doesn't mean you need to fucking benchmark Andrews. Of course not. You're still going to play him, right? Unless you have Laporta or Kelsey on your team, you're playing Andrews. So that's just how I feel about him. It sucks, right? It sucks that you paid the high draft price for him and you're kind of stuck with this. But at the same time, it's also not terrible. Like, I don't think we're going to see Andrews go out there and just be so bad. So that's kind of just how I feel. I shouldn't have worn all black because it's dark in here. I don't know why I did that. I'm a fucking idiot. I just look like a floating head because I'm so white. I'm like Casper, the goddamn ghost up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Pollard is burying me. What do I do with him, Mason? You just gotta hold. Hold on for dear fucking life, pal. Don't give up just yet. Thursday. Club going up on a Thursday. Got your girl in the club. All right. Thursday. Komet or McBride. And Boyd's my flex with Waddle, Ayuk, and JJ on the hour for now. Thoughts about leaving JJ on the bench, whether he plays or not? Okay, so the report I read today, and the reason why Justin Jefferson wasn't in my rankings for the wide receivers is because I read today that it seems like he is going to be out. It seems like he is not going to be playing this week. It seems like Justin Jefferson's going to wait another week. And they have another game. I think it's against the Bears, but I might be wrong. They have another game next week, and then they have the bye week. So he might not be back until that would be week 14. So yeah, I would just leave Justin Jefferson on the IR for now and just stick with who you got with Waddle, Ayuk, and Boyd. That makes the most sense because, again, if Jefferson does play, he might just be like a decoy, if I'm being honest with you, because all the reports are saying that they want to keep him ready, only play him when he's fully 100%. And based upon that report of him being unlikely to play today, tells me he's probably not playing. So Komet or McBride, it's McBride. It is McBride so easily. I love Trey McBride. I didn't love him going into the season because I thought Zach Ertz would be healthy. Zach Ertz is, so now it's McBride season. And Komet, I like Komet with Justin Fields back, but we've just seen Bagent feed him 3 straight games in a row. So will Justin Fields do the same? I'm not sure. So we're going to go ahead and go with McBride and then play Boyd. Don't fuck around and mess with Justin Jefferson. Playing against the first place team that goes nuclear every week, start Keaton Mitchell over Singletary for the boom upside. Yes, that makes sense. That is not dumb. Now, if you are someone that is, for instance, on a team where it's like, oh, the game's going to be close, then I would just play Singletary. But in your scenario where it's like, oh, I need the upside, go with Keaton Mitchell. Lamar or Herbert need 3 more people to help me pick. Okay, I got you, Christian. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. Go Herbert. Keaton Mitchell or Pacheco. Scary Terry, Montee, or DK Metcalf, full PPR. I would go with Montee. Bitch, I feel like Montee. Sorry for the long message. I got 4 running backs to choose from. Mostert, White, Javante Williams, and Connor. I'm thinking of playing Mostert and Connor. What do you think? Also, I have a spot in my flex to maybe replace Addison. So what I would do is I would play Mostert, I would play Javante Williams, and then I would play Connor at the flex. Mostert, Williams, Connor at the flex. Pick 2 wide receivers as running backs and 1 flex. Addison, Godwin, Ridley, Myers, and Higgins. Aaron Jones, Ford, and Connor and A-Chain. A-Chain, Connor, Godwin, Addison, Ford. Aaron Jones. Let me say it again. Aaron Jones, Connor, A-Chain, Godwin, Addison. There we go. I don't think so. Sag, I don't think so, man. I like DTR. He's a fun player. Very fun player. He plays that fuck it, let's just run a million times. It's like, have you ever played against someone in Madden who sucks at throwing the ball and they're just running every play? That's how DTR plays football. But no, I'm not trusting Amari Cooper too much. Joey Ford. All right. Let me get to your question in 0.2 seconds. I just got to do something really quick. It's going to take 2 seconds. Don't you worry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I got you guys, though. Don't worry. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. All right. Let me fix this. All right. Oh, sorry. I just smacked my thing. And then I got to text my fiance real quick, and I'll answer your questions. I apologize. Thank you guys all for the super chats. I love all you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Again, I always say this, and some people might think it's like disingenuous, but like in reality, what I do is impossible without you guys. So I really appreciate that. All right. Would you trade A-Chain and Dillon for Bijan Robinson? 7-3. So I can afford the bye week if we think Bijan is that much better. All right. This might sound crazy, but I think I would rather have Devin A-Chain compared to Bijan. Now, Dillon is like a non-factor. Dillon is basically just a toss-in, right? You're just throwing Dillon in there, right? It's not like Dillon means anything. Like that could be, I don't know, who's a player that doesn't mean anything to you? Just like imagine off the top of your head. Like for instance, Dameon Pierce, just a fucking throw-in. Doesn't mean jack shit. So it's just like some random player. Just any throw-in. I'd rather have A-Chain than Bijan. At the start of the season, I would have told you, Nick, you're crazy. You're loco, right? I would have said that. Okay? I would have done a fake Mexican accent because I think it's funny, right? But yeah, I would go ahead and play. I'd rather have A-Chain over Bijan. I know it sounds crazy. But A-Chain looked way better than Bijan did. And you know A-Chain's coach trusts him. We don't know that about Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith's a fucking idiot. So I'm playing, call me crazy. I'd rather have A-Chain over Bijan. I don't think anyone's going to say that's crazy, though. So we're going with keeping A-Chain and Dillon. Thank you for the super chat, Joey. I would go with Caitlin. Are we talking about Elijah Mitchell? Which Mitchell are we talking about here? Steve, 10-man, PPR, 4 and 6. Mahomes, K1, A-Chain, Brees, Connor, Kyron, Tank, Hollywood, Devontae Smith, Watson, Kincaid, McBride, Hopkins, kicker. Any advice? Well, your team looks good. So I'm kind of shocked that it's 4 and 6. That's the biggest problem with 10-team leagues is even if your team is stacked, you're not guaranteed to make it to the chip. Like that's why now again, if you play a 10-team league, I don't dislike you, right? It's not like I hate you or something. I am in a 10-team league. So I know how this feels. You draft a good-ass team, and then it just doesn't mean much because every other team is pretty loaded, and it kind of sucks. That's just kind of my feeling on 10-team leagues. I've been saying that for years. But in terms of your team, what I would try to do is you have really good running backs, and your receivers are lacking big time. You also have great tight ends. So what I would try my best to do is package Kyler and Bijan, Kyler and Connor, right? Just Kyler and one of your running backs and go get a stud receiver. Because sure, it's awesome you've got Dell, you've got Devontae Smith, but you need a big dick swinging receiver, right? In order to compete in a 10-team league, you need a better receiver one. Who could that be? It could be Hill. It could be A.J. Brown. It could be a little lower. It could be Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? So what you want to do is just take Kyler and Brees, Kyler and Bijan, Kyler and Connor, and just start throwing it out. I'm not saying you even need to be calculated. You just try to deal it out to every single team. Say, hey, I need to get rid of Kyler. Maybe there's a team that needs a quarterback. I need to get rid of Kyler, and I'm getting rid of one of these running backs. Just send it in your fucking league chat. Hey, I'm looking to get rid of Kyler and one of these running backs, and I need a receiver. That's what you're going to do. Because the second you get a better receiver, the second your team is going to turn mighty fine like Megan Fox in her prime. So you're going to go ahead. Nick, Megan Fox is still in her prime. I honestly have no idea what the fuck Megan Fox looks like right now. I remember when I saw her in Transformers, and at that point, I knew I was a straight man. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to trade away one of your running backs with Kyler and go ahead and get a new receiver one. Brand spanking new wide receiver 1. All right. Next question here. RJ, 8-2. Thanks to you. Got Mahomes, ETN, Montee, CD, Javante, McBride, A-Chain, Stoud, Kenneth Walker III, Kirk, Ferg, Sharp, and Goff on the bench. Try and trade Kenneth Walker III for an elite receiver. Anything else for the playoffs? All right. You are in a scenario right now that is great and bad at the exact same time. I'm in the same scenario in my Superflex league where I have not only Goff, I have Tua and Stoud. So what you're going to want to do is upgrade that receiver and try to search around your league. Hey, do you want Mahomes for maybe a receiver? Or hey, do you want Stoud for a receiver? Now, it's always great to have two options, but what this does is it leads to you making the wrong decision a lot of the times because in principle, you're probably playing Mahomes 99% of the time, but then the matchup gets a little bad for Mahomes. You're like, oh, let me bench Mahomes for Stoud, and then Mahomes kicks the teeth in of the other team. Typically, the Chiefs are a team that starts to really sharpen up towards the end of the season. They're a team that doesn't need to be great the first couple of weeks, right? We see them lose these games like up against the Broncos, and people are claiming that the Chiefs are dead. The Chiefs are not dead. The Chiefs are very much alive. We saw the exact same thing happen last season. So I don't want you to panic if you have Mahomes. So what I would do is try to trade Kenneth Walker for an elite receiver and then trade either Mahomes or Stoud for another piece because I don't think you want to be that guy that's stuck every single week cycling your quarterbacks and then starting the wrong guy and then you end up feeling like an asshole. So that would be my suggestion. I don't know why I can't talk. I appreciate you so much for the super chat. And that's just what I would look to do. You also have Goff as well. So you have 3 quarterbacks. I didn't even see that. I read it off, but I didn't even see that. So you definitely need to get rid of one of those quarterbacks, if not both of them, and just get other pieces. That's what I would do. Shining. Great film. Thank you for the super chat. Burrow or Purdy? I'm going with Big Cock Brock Purdy. Now, I think Joe Burrow should have a good game tonight, but let's be honest with you. Brock Purdy's matchup is significantly easier. Brock Purdy came out the bye looking like a bat shot out of hell. He looked so much better than he did just a few weeks ago because if we remember, Brock Purdy was on a skip. He was looking really bad. And then, coming out the bye week, he started to look really good. So I'm going to go ahead and lean with Purdy. It's close between the two, but I definitely feel a lot safer with Purdy. So we're going Brock. It's Brocktober, baby. Next question from Fall. 7-3, 10-team PPR. Great job. So look at this. Everyone in here is a winner. It's like Charlie Sheen. Everyone's winning. Are you bipolar? Because I'm bi-winning. That was so funny. I think I made that joke in a video the other day. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but for some reason, like when I was like 13, I thought that was hilarious. Or maybe I was younger than that when that happened. All right. Hurts, Jacobs, Hall, Hill, Thielen, Kincaid, Javante, Higgins, London, Keaton, Rachaad White, Kyron, Charbonnet. What move should I look to make? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what you could possibly do. You have a top 3 quarterback. You have a top 5 tight end. You have great running backs. You have great receivers. I guess what you could do is maybe package Thielen with one of your running backs and then get like a legitimate must-start receiver every week. Now, I still think that Thielen's in that category, but if Bryce Young continues to play like this, I think you might want to get rid of, and now Frank Reich is going to call the plays on Sunday, so I think Thielen will be a lot more involved, but just for peace of mind, what you're going to do, because Higgins, we know Higgins hasn't been really that safe this season, so just package Thielen and Rachaad White, Thielen and Kyron Williams, Thielen and Keaton, and get a real receiver 1. Get a much better receiver 1. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Search for someone like that. That's what I would do. The rest of your team is star-studded. You don't even really need Rachaad White or Kyron, assuming that Hall and Jacob stay healthy. So that's what I would look to do. Package Thielen and another running back for a star-studded wide receiver 1. And you're going to feel very happy after that. Your team is going to be even better. Your team's already looking fucking stacked right now. It's going to look even better after that, though. But don't go out there and try to get a new quarterback or a new tight end. You already got great. You're already great there. I'm 5-5, not making the playoffs. Jay Jetta's injury really hurt me. Yeah, that's tough. And again, obviously, when I say everyone's winning here, not everyone's going to win their league. Like, I'm in a league where I'm not in the playoffs. In 2 of my leagues, 2 out of my 5 leagues, I'm not in the playoffs. The other ones, I'm like top 3 seeds. Fantasy, there's a lot of luck that is involved. A lot of people don't really seem to understand that like injury plays a lot into things. Get lucky in the draft. Like, sometimes you're drafted against straight up buffoons. Sometimes you're drafted up against a bunch of geniuses, and that does impact how you finish at the end of the season. Plus, like, getting lucky on the waiver wire, picking up that stud. Like, if you picked up Keaton Mitchell like 3 weeks in advance, or like people who picked up A-Chain beforehand, the person that cut A-Chain when A-Chain was shit in the bed, and now they're like in running back hell, things happen. So, fantasy is a tough game. Trying to upgrade receiver. I got Hopkins, Cooper, Godwin, JSN, Tank Dell, and Christian Watson. What should I be trying to get? Literally anyone. Just try to get just even into the receiver 2 range. Any of those kind of guys. Get you a Ayuk, Debo, something like that. Steven C., thank you for the super chat. Okay, do I play Keaton with Gus over Warren and Chandler? Okay. So personally, I don't really want to be starting 2 of the same running backs on the same team if I project them to not be like top 20 backs. So Gus and Keaton are not top 20 guys in my opinion. If you have Mostert and A-Chain, that's a little bit different, right? I'd be comfortable playing both. In this scenario, I think you want to play Gus and you want to play Chandler. Because then if the Ravens really sell things tight, right? I don't think that's going to happen. But imagine the Ravens have just an astronomically bad day. The Ravens don't show up. The Bengals are trouncing all over them. They have to pass late in the game. They're not able to run as effectively. And then maybe Gus Edwards gets iced out of a touchdown. Then Keaton Mitchell gets iced out of a touchdown. And then you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass, having started 2 Ravens receivers, 2 Ravens running backs, and you're pissed off. Now, again, is that the most likely thing to happen? No. But it's not like I'm banging the drum all week for Keaton and Gus Edwards. So what I would do is I just stick with Gus, and keep scoring touchdowns. Stick with Gus in your lineup, and then just play Tai Chandler. I think Tai Chandler, again, is Tai Chandler as good of a running back as Keaton Mitchell? No. But Chandler is in a much better situation to succeed up against that Broncos run defense. So we're going to go with Gus Bus, and we're going to go with Michael Chandler. Go Bills. My question is, are you Go Bills that plays DFS? That's my question. Because there's a guy, Go Bills, that absolutely took me out back, fucking whacked me like my name was Lenny, looking at the Wabbits and of Mice and Men. That man literally won, I think it was like 12 grand in the contest I was in. My NBA team sucked yesterday. But if that's you, congratulations. I don't know if it is, but similar name. Ingram and Kincaid on the waivers. Who's the priority? Kincaid. Now, Ingram is probably the safer bet. So if you want like the tight end 8 every single week, you get Ingram. But Kincaid might be a little bit more boom or bust, but Kincaid's been very reliable recently. I know Josh Allen has been bad, but Josh Allen has been looking to at least target Kincaid at a very high rate. He looks at Kincaid a lot in the red zone, and we know that the Bills realistically should be running the ball a lot more, but they don't. So that makes me even more confident in Kincaid. So I definitely say Kincaid is the priority over Ingram. David says, choose 2, Montee, Connor, Saquon, and Keaton. Definitely got to lock Montee in, and then I'd go with Saquon. I like the matchup for Saquon Barkley, and I don't think things should get so out of hand to where they can't run the ball. And even if they can't run the ball, I think Tommy DeVito is going to look to dump the ball off a ton. The Commanders' defense just isn't all that great. Now, they're fine for fantasy, but I don't think they're all that great of a unit. They got rid of Chase Young Moolah, baby. They also got rid of Sweat, and that makes the defense a lot worse. So Saquon and Montee. Montee's a lock. You could argue between Saquon and Connor, but I definitely lean with Saquon. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, as Elvis would say, for the super chat. Montee and Saquon. 84 GOAT. Start Boyd over Addison and Cooper in the flex. I definitely don't want anything to do with Cooper at all this week, if I'm being honest with you. So between Boyd and Addison is close. 84 GOAT, I think you've asked me this question multiple times in the comment section. Based upon your responses to what I've said, I don't think you want to play Addison. That's my read on things. You're a Vikings fan. I think you've got the Vikings gloves. I don't think you want to play Addison, right? I think you're looking for a reason out of Addison. Now, Addison, I think, is probably the safest bet here with very high upside because Justin Jefferson won't return. They've got a great matchup up against that defense, and Joshua Dobbs looks very good. Boyd also has a lot of upside, but Boyd has a much tougher matchup, right? On paper, the Bengals defense is significantly better than the Broncos defense. So, if you want to go Boyd, which it seems like you do, go with your gut. You don't have to go with me all the time. I'm going to be wrong. Going to be wrong about a lot of things. I'm going to be right about a lot of things as well. But not everyone is perfect. That's something you learn like when you're young. So what I will tell you is you seem to want to play Boyd, so just play Boyd. If it's my team, I'm playing Jordan Addison, right? I don't want anything to do with Cooper, though. I'm 4-6. It's okay. Or it's okay to be 4-6. You know? Just so you know, all you have to do is get into the playoffs. Now, does it help to have a couple bye week in your league? Yeah, of course it does. But you don't need it. You don't need it. All you got to do is scooch in there. You could have a shitty record. You could be the 6th seed in your league, and you can win. So don't worry too much about being 4-6 right now. As long as you get into the dance, as long as you're dancing, you've got a chance to win. Fire up Joe or Tua this week. Go with Tua. Tua dominates against shitty defenses. The Raiders are a shitty defense. Easy money. Tua. I like Joe, but it's Tua. Which is worse, Thursday Night Football or London games? Definitely the London games. Because if you're someone now I'm on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast and you're waking up at 6:30 a.m. and you got to watch fucking the Colts versus the Patriots, you deserve some type of award. Because I don't have enough. I don't have enough. Like, I love football, right? I'm gonna miss football when it's gone. It's gonna bring a tear to my eye. But Jesus, man, I'm not waking up. If I was on the West Coast, there is no way I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m. to watch that shit. And at least the games on Thursday Night Football sometimes are good. Sometimes they end up being good, even if they're a bad matchup, right? Even if on paper the game sucks, at least sometimes it's fun. You want to know what's not fun? Watching a game in London in the morning and the game sucks and it puts you to sleep. You need to do some Adderall in the morning, snort some cocaine, to pay attention. So definitely the London games are way worse. It's not even close in my opinion. Schultz or Flowers in the flex? Schultz. Nick, Gus Edwards or Godwin? Gus Edwards. Reese, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you, R, as well. I'll get to you in a second. Appreciate all you guys. Much love. Much love. What do you guys think about Lucas 6-4 is number one in your league? That's good. I'm 8. My best record is 8-2 in my super flex league, and my team is just stacked. Hey, brother. What's up, Reese? How you doing, man? Hey, brother. I'm so conflicted right now. Full PPR, are you starting Joe Burrow or Sam Howell? Also, would you throw Nico Collins or Brian Robinson to flex? Great question. So, Sam Howell last time against the Giants shit the bed. That was a very easy matchup. He was terrible. That was, though, a Giants team that had hope, right? In the back of their head, they were thinking, you know what? Maybe we can turn things around, right? Sure, our record's bad, but it's not that bad yet, right? Still early enough to right the passage, right the ship. Right now, the Giants are dead in the fucking water. They are flopping around like a fish out of water. They're terrible. But Joe Burrow has been playing so well, even against good defenses, it puts you in a predicament. Especially knowing that Sam Howell he's been consistent this year, but he's destined for one of those down games. He has a down game every couple of weeks where he's really bad. So I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with my chest. Pause, and I think my gut would tell me to go with Joe Burrow. I think I can more sleep at night. Like when my head hits the pillow and I lose, if say Sam Howell gets 18 points, Joe Burrow gets 17, I will be able to sleep at night knowing that I started Joe Burrow over Sam Howell. Whereas I will not be able to sleep at night if I start Sam Howell, he gets 5 points, and Joe Burrow goes crazy. So I'm going to go with Joe Shiesty. And then Nico Collins or Brian Robinson. This is another question where you kind of have to think to yourself. Do I want the safety or do I want the risk with more upside? To me, Nico Collins is a bigger risk, right? He's very boomer bust, whereas Robinson's very safe. If you feel like, hey, I need that juice, I need that 25-plus point performance, play Collins. If you need the safety net, go Robinson. Personally, I play Nico Collins and Joe Burrow. Thank you, R, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. From, I believe that's Europe. Maybe it's the UK. Again, I'm a bit of a buffoon, but thank you, R. I really appreciate it. I'm waiting for the chat to load the other chat that I have on the other screen, because on one screen, it's basically impossible. What I'm looking at right now to click on your name, it is virtually impossible for me to find your question. Whereas, oh, never mind. It's just right here. Duh! Herdy-der. Someone trying to trade with me. I have Swift. They're offering straight swap for Cup. Is it worth it? I'm 4-6 and need wins. No, that's not worth it. Look, I'm as big of a Cup stan as it gets, but I think that is relatively risky. And the reason why I say that it's risky is because Stafford might just get hurt again. Cup hasn't looked great recently, whereas Swift, I know he's been a little bit down in the dumps recently, but Swift is still one of the safest running backs to play every single week in fantasy football. So I think switching off of that would be a little bit crazy. Okay. Yeah, so I think that would be a little crazy to do. So I'm sticking with Swift personally. I'm sticking with Swift. Labyrinth says, have PPR, would like to trade for Javante. Yeah, just try Olave first. I think they'll bite on Olave. I don't think you should. So what I try to do when I'm trying to trade with someone is, what you don't want to do is completely lowball them, right? Because then even if you're like, oh, I will super lowball them, and then I'm fine going up to, for instance, I'm fine going in to throw in these extra players. If it's a super big lowball, they might see that as a spit in the face, and then they might be like, oh, this fucking cocksucker doesn't even want to trade with me, right? They're just trying to tickle my balls. They're trying to take my player. I'm not doing that. So Olave for Javante feels fair. So that's what I would do first. Then if they're like, I need another player, then go ahead and throw in Josh Downs. But first, I would kind of throw out the feeler of Olave for Javante, because I don't think that is like a slap in the face type of trade. So it's not like you're offering like, oh, I want Javante, I'll give you Josh Downs, right? Because then they might laugh at your face. They might be like, I'm never trading with this guy again. Send this guy to the to Azkaban, right? So you don't want to do that. So I would suggest just try to send Olave for Javante first. Next question. I have a good one for you. Give me a second. All right, Emmanuel. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Very nice, Mr. Emmanuel. I appreciate you, sir. Trade for Puka and Mixon for Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I would do that. Wait. No, I wouldn't. I'm trying to read this correctly. Do you have Jefferson or no? If you're getting Jefferson, yes. If you're trading Jefferson away, no. All right. Emmanuel says, should I drop Levis and pick up Dorian? Also, for my running back in my Superflex League, I have Tai Chandler, Khalil Herbert on the hour, Dr. Foreman, Singletary, and Javante Williams. Been losing sleep. Great question. I would rather play Levis. I think there's a lot of rumors right now about Ryan Tannehill potentially getting cut by the Titans. Now, does that mean that Tannehill, that's a guarantee to happen? No. But I think there's a chance that Tannehill gets cut and is a Cleveland Brown within the next couple of days. I think there's a chance that Tannehill gets cut and is the starting quarterback of the Jets. Because if Tannehill was the quarterback of the Jets, say what you want about Tannehill. Tannehill is miles better than DTR. He is miles better than Zach Wilson. So if that was the case, either of those teams would be chomping at the bit to pick him up. They would be ecstatic. So what I will tell you here is I am going to go ahead and keep Levis. Don't pick up DTR, because I think there's a chance a couple days from now DTR isn't even the starting quarterback of the Browns. Then for your running backs, very simple this week. You are going to go with Javante Williams and you are going to go with Devin Singletary. Assuming Dameon Pierce misses, you go Singletary. If Pierce miraculously shows up, then you play Chandler. Javante Williams has been exquisite over the last couple of weeks. I kind of have him buried slightly in the rankings. I think he's like my running back 18. Some people will say that's disrespectful. I don't think so, but some might say that. But I definitely like him and Singletary. And I would keep Levis, because I'm going to be honest, like, again, 3 days from now, Levis might not even be, Dorian Thompson-Robinson might not even be the starting quarterback of the team. Lito, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Yeah, Keaton Mitchell, King Michael Jacko. Just don't play Keaton Mitchell. Just play Nico Collins. Lito, thank you for the super chat. DJ Moore or Mixon. Full PPR dope content. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Means a lot. Really appreciate everyone here in the chat. So I would go with Joe Mixon. Now, I know Joe Mixon has a tough matchup, but DJ Moore is dealing with Justin Fields coming back from injury. Now, this could be a game where maybe DJ Moore goes fucking nuclear, right? Fields is back. Fields looks like he's never missed a step. But there's also a chance that Fields shows up to be the starting quarterback, and Fields doesn't look like himself. Fields looks like, like a 70% version of himself, and that just doesn't cut it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just play Mixon. Mixon's getting the touches. This game should be competitive. The Bengals should be – I don't project – look, the Ravens could win, but I don't project the Ravens just fucking smacking them up, right? Just hit them with a haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. And then the Mixon's laying stiff. And, the Bengals are dead, and then they can't run the ball. I don't project that to happen. I think this is going to be a closer game. It's an AFC North Division rivalry matchup. I'm going Mixon over DJ Moore. DJ Moore. It's in the game. Charles, thank you for the super chat. Have PPR wide receiver Tank Dell Coop. Hollywood Brown, Waddle. Quarterback Kyler or Tua. Walker, Pollard, A-Chain, Singletary, Ford, defense, Minnesota or Jacksonville. FYI, Keaton Mitchell's on the waivers. Okay. Great question. So for your quarterback, you need one. You're going Tua against the Raiders. For your receiver, you're going Waddle. If you need it depends if that's Amari Cooper or Cooper Kupp. So if you need one receiver, it's Waddle. If you need two, it's Cooper Kupp. But if that's not Cooper Kupp, the second one would be Tank Dell. For running back, you're going to go A-Chain and Walker. For your defense, you're going... One second. Who the fuck is Jacksonville playing? Because it just escaped my mind. Jacksonville, Jaguars. The Titans. Okay. Jacksonville. Okay. I got you. I'm going to type it in the chat for you. Very simple. Tua at quarterback. Your receiver is going to be Waddle. But if you need two, it's going to be Cooper Kupp. But if that ain't Cooper Kupp, then it's Tank Dell. For your running backs, you're going Walker and A-Chain. For your defense, you're going you're going Jacksonville. And then you don't have anyone that I would cut for Keaton Mitchell. So actually, I would cut, if you have both defenses, cut the Minnesota defense and pick up Keaton Mitchell. I sent it in the chat, though, for you so that you can get it. So I don't have to say it 50,000 times because I know it's a long question. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Thielen or Javante Williams for the flex, Purdy/Tua. I would go Javante Williams, and I would go Tua. Tua, to me, is safer than Brock Purdy. Again, sound like a broken record. Tua is amazing against bad defenses. At home. At home, if you look at the win-loss of the Dolphins at home versus away, in the Mike McDaniel era, at home, they're amazing. Away, they're bad. This game's at home. This game's at home against a bad defense. Remember what happened to the Denver Broncos. Remember what happened to the Panthers. Remember what happened to the Patriots. All games at home where Tua Tagovailoa goes fucking haywire. Tua has got his cornrows. Tua is looking great. Tua is going to slay the Raiders. So Tua over Purdy and then Javante over Thielen. But that's really kind of just a coin flip. So we're going Javante and we're going Tua. LegendaryOne, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, good sir. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys are fucking sending hella donations. I really appreciate it. LegendaryOne, Speed, Kelly, leave your guys' questions in the chat. Let me pull up the chat over here. I want this drink and another one. I'm waiting for the questions to load real quick so I can get to you guys. If you guys, I wish I could show you guys what it looks like without, if I tried to show you guys, everything would freeze if I did that because my computer's slow as fuck. Peace out, Brian French, if you're leaving. I appreciate you joining. But, yeah, it's the chat's going fast as fuck right now. It's going to show up in a second, though. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you. It's crazy. All right. Legendary one said. Lamar or Tua? Tua. If that was your only question, which it appears to be, your answer is Tua. Tua is significantly safer. Lamar's been on the struggle bus. And Tua, again, dominant at home. Dominant against bad defenses. To me, it's kind of a no-brainer. And I've said this a bunch. As a Dolphins fan, if the Dolphins are able to play the playoffs at home, I would be way more confident. I think for a lot of teams, it doesn't matter as much. But for the Dolphins, it matters a ton to be at home. So Tua. Kelly. Thank you for the super chat. Let me pull that up. Thank you guys all for all the super chats. I appreciate you. Sade Kelly says, for flex, Tai Chandler, Javante Smith or Boyd, and at tight end, Laporta or McBride. Two tough questions. So for your tight end, you're going to go Laporta. Laporta over McBride is kind of, it's close, but I think I would just lean with the guy that has done it for a longer period of time, and I feel like the Lions offense is a little bit safer. So we're going Laporta. And then Tai Chandler, Devonta Smith, or Boyd. I don't think you can sit Devonta Smith in this matchup against the Chiefs. Now, I get the Chiefs' defense is good. I don't think the Chiefs' defense is some pushover. But this is going to potentially be one of the highest scoring games of the week. So I'm going to go with Devonta Smith, and I'm going to go with Laporta. Should I drop Amari Cooper then and play Flowers or Thielen since DTR likes to rush? Don't know his passing game too well, and we all know Cooper did well with Walker. No. I would definitely play Thielen over Amari Cooper, but I don't think you can drop Amari Cooper. Because, again, I think there's a chance that they don't have DTR as the starting quarterback next week. Like, I think there's a good chance that DTR isn't the long-time answer. Maybe they get one game out of DTR and they go back to PJ Walker. So I think dropping Amari Cooper would be a little silly, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I think that's really risking things. That's putting a lot more risk into things than you really need. So I would stick with Amari Cooper because, again, Amari Cooper's a great receiver. Maybe he could even ball out with DTR. I just wouldn't trust it. Like this week, I wouldn't just be like blindly playing him. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely play Thielen over Amari Cooper, and I would rather play Cooper over Flowers. So don't drop Cooper. Don't drop Cooper. I think that would be a little silly. Gus over. Fix my mic. Is my mic bad? Fuck. Help me justify starting Gus over Godwin. He's just way safer. Is my mic messed up? I can't hear myself talking, so I don't know. No one else is saying anything. Hey, Jersey boy. What's up? Zay Flowers or Zay Flowers, Judy, or Madison? Zay Flowers. Gus gets the goal line carries. I agree. Oh, you meant to bench Cooper over Thielen. Okay. Yeah. I get what you mean now. Sorry. I think next year I'm going to envision a way to get you guys to call into the show. There's an easy way to get you guys to call in, but there's also a chance that someone just joins this thing and starts fucking screaming like some crazy obscenities, you know? We all know that. People do that on the internet. My mic is good, okay. And plus, it would not be able to happen on like Thursday or Sunday because there's just too many questions to be answered. It glitched a few times, but it's good. Okay, that's just my internet sucks. So I thought it was my mic. I thought there was a chance that I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing because that's possible. Like these fucking mics, like my computer is stupid. So if like this accidentally unplugged slightly, like just the tip comes out, then we're in a scenario where you guys can't hear me, or like we're with my webcam mic, which sounds like we're at the bottom of the like a cavern or something. No, I don't think he was trolling. Troll calls would be fun. It would be fun. So I think that's something we're gonna figure out next year. But again, it would mean that I would have to stream an additional day. That is not today, which would be fine. I'm not saying that. Or Sunday, which would be fine, but it would just be something to add to the plate. If you guys appreciate what we do here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That's the best way to help me out. All right. I'm trying to find something really quick on my computer that I can't find. Fuck. There's a guy that I follow that gives out first touchdown scores. His name was like Newt Bar or something. Found him. Now, people could troll. I don't care. Chat is a bunch of trolls. Anyways. All right. Let me... All right, let me place these first touchdown bets while we're speaking too. We can keep speaking during it. Troll chat ain't enough. Puka or Kirk? Let's go Puka. Keaton? No, I'd go Kirk. And then Keaton or Chuba? I'd go Keaton. 2 quarterback Dynasty League. Drop Daniel Jones. I wouldn't drop Daniel Jones in the Dynasty League because eventually you're going to be able to play him, right? Maybe he won't be a giant, but eventually you're going to be able to play him. All right. Touchdown score. So we're going to put in first touchdown score on Mark Andrews. We're going to put it on Rashad Bateman. We're going to put it on Burrow. Joe Burrow. We're going to put it on Hudson. Where the fuck's Hudson at? Hudson plus 3,000. Tanner Hudson and then Irv Smith. All right. Irv Smith, Hudson, Joe Burrow, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews. Put $3 on all those. And we'll end up rich if one of these hits. All right. Keaton or Chuba? Keaton. Keenan joint sprain decoy this week. Wait until Sunday before we really figure that out. Don't panic yet. Burrow or Kyler? I'd go Burrow. Do I trade Keenan Allen for Cup? No. Newt Bar is a baseball player. That's what I was thinking of. His name is Noops, not Newt Bar. That's like Lance Newt Bar or whatever his name is. He played, I think, on the Japan team, maybe. I'm not a big baseball guy, as you guys can tell. Scary Terry, Montee or Metcalf? Montee. Lamar, Tua, Debo or Ridley, Debo. Keaton or McLaurin? Keaton or Chuba, Keaton. Mahomes or Purdy? Mahomes. Oh, fuck. I forgot to check the Patreon if someone asked a question. Let's see here. Just make sure I answered everyone's question on Patreon. Fields or Howells? I would go Howell. 18 full PPR, 7-3. Team is Allen, Murray, Eckler, Gibbs. Your team looks good. I wouldn't really do anything. You're 7-3. I wouldn't try to make any crazy moves. I think you're good. If anything, you might want to trade like Ayuk for a more startable, like a better running back. Jay says Boyd or Quentin Johnston. Definitely go Boyd. I don't want anything to do with Quentin Johnston. So yeah, I'd go Boyd. 100%. Gus or Keaton? Gus. But yeah, I'd go Boyd. Quentin Johnston, he could be fine, but I would feel so bad if I started Quentin Johnston over Boyd. So there's no way I'm doing that. So we're going Boyd 100%. And then Mike GP, thank you for the super chat as well. Let me check the other thing. Find you, Mike GP. Thank you. Again, Boyd over Quentin Johnston. Boyd's a lot safer. Quentin Johnston's a lot more risky. Similar offenses. I trust Boyd more. So that's what we're saying. So yeah, I'd go Boyd. And then Mike GP's question was, wait, the chat hasn't even loaded yet. Bro, my phone or my computer is having a fucking aneurysm right now. Oh, here it is. If I'm lagging, I apologize. Mike GP says, hi, currently 5-5. Oh, and here, let me give Ramen his answer first. Or Raymond, sorry. Am I good? Am I lagging hella? I'll close some things off on my computer. Fuck, dude. Why are we lagging so much? Oh, my goodness. My computer's on the struggle bus right now. All right. Raymond, and I'll get to you, Michael, in 1 second. I would go Purdy. I'm sorry if I'm lagging. I hope you can hear me. I would go Purdy over Burrow. I think Purdy is a significantly safer play than Burrow tonight, and I think Purdy is going to end up being one of the safer plays at quarterback. I think he's basically a lock to be like a top 8, top 10 guy, whereas I could see Burrow struggling and falling outside of the top 10. So I'd go Purdy. And then Mike GP said, hi, currently 5-5, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Think I'm a lead at wide receiver. Who should I target with a package? I can give Mahomes, Kamara, Bijan, Pollard, Kyron, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Deontay, Ridley, Watson, McBride. Easy money here. Trade away Tony Pollard. Wait for Tony Pollard to play good this Sunday. Get him out of here. Right when he does, get him out of here. Just get rid of Pollard. Get rid of one of those running backs, and you'll be golden. Get another receiver, and you'll be very, very happy. Tyron, I've been looking at your slips. They look fine. They both look fine. I think you're going to be fine. So, yeah. Yeah, I would go ahead and try and trade away one of your running backs, preferably Pollard. And just get any receiver that's just somewhat decent. Lamar or Goff? Goff. Have a good night, brother. Love the content. Thank you. Have a good night to you as well. Hope everyone in chat has a good night. So you think Connor does better than Addison the flex? Yes. Addison or Flowers? Addison. Ayuk, Dell, Puka, Waddle. Ayuk, Dell, Puka, Waddle. I would go Ayuk and Waddle. Dobbs or Tua? Kent, for what move should you make? I would go ahead and just stick with. I think I already read this. I think you should just stick with who you got. I think you're trying to get a little cute if you try to trade anything away there. Lone Lion says Lamar or Goff. I would go Goff, personally. I think that Goff is a lot safer than Lamar tonight. I think Goff plays better. I would go with I would go with Goff. I just think Goff's a way safer play. I don't think Lamar's like the safest bet ever tonight. So that would be my response to that. Just trying to make sure I don't have anyone playing tonight that I don't know of on my teams. So yeah, definitely go with Goff over Lamar. Lamar's been struggling recently. I think Goff's a lot safer. All right. Go with Goff. I love you, Nick, but where's Spock? He's not allowed to have a life. Yeah, I think he's out for this week at least. I think he's going to be back soon, though. He said he had something to do, that he was going to be gone. So Spock is gone for this week. He'll be back soon, though. No problem, the Water Bear. I appreciate you. Spock will be back soon. All right. It's almost time for game time, baby. Party taking you to the promised land. I hope so. Juby slide to end the stream. Dude, I wish I knew how the fuck to do that. That dance is so cool where you slide around. It looks like you're moonwalking. I don't know how people do it. I watched a video on how to do it. I tried to do it. I can't do it. Maybe I just don't have very much skills like in the dance compartment. I'm a little too much of a white boy to hit that kind of a move. I just don't have any bit of rhythm. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. Edwards or Pacheco? Pacheco. Spock's on a bye week. That's a fact. So yeah, Spock is a mod in the chat. He's a friend of mine. He's a nice guy. Spock's a nice fella. 10-man, 5 and 5. Anything I do to get safer at wide receiver 2? Yeah, try and trade Kyler for another piece. Raymond. Sorry if I say your name wrong again. I am so bad with names. Everyone knows that. See you, Lito. I believe it's Raymond. I sound like an asshole. Lockett or Devontae Smith? I would go with Devontae Smith. I like Lockett every week, but I think Devontae Smith's a lot safer. I think Devontae Smith is in a situation to score more points in a higher scoring back and forth affair. So let's go Devontae Smith over Lockett. Lockett, pretty hit or miss. Devontae Smith's been a lot more consistent over the last 2 weeks, so we're going Devontae against the Chiefs. So thank you guys all so much for watching. We're going to get out of here. Fields or CJ? We're going to go CJ, and then Mostert, A-Chain, Gus Edwards, Aaron Jones. I'd go Mostert and A-Chain. So thank you guys for watching. I got to get out of here. Godwin, Hollywood, or D-Hop. I would go D-Hop. Love you guys all so much. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. We'll be back on Sunday live video tomorrow. Have a great one. And as always, guys, good boy.